I want to show you how I pot up strawberry seedlings. So in this tray here, a few weeks ago, I planted wild strawberry or alpine strawberry seeds, and I prefer to plant them out in a multi-sowing type of fashion initially when I just plant them. And this allows, because they are such tiny little seeds and because they produce such tiny little seedlings, I find it a lot easier to grow them like this initially and then prick out the largest seedlings, as you can see right here. Prick out the largest seedlings and then pot them up into the next size cell pack, which this is these cells here. You can see they're quite long. So I find this easier than planting, a couple of seeds per cell, because if I started that way with 100 seeds in a packet, I would need a lot more of these cells to get started, and they would take up a lot more space. Plus, as you can see, I had planted all these at the same time, and some of them are really tiny and some of them are larger. So by doing it this way, I can select the largest and the healthiest seedlings to pot up into this tray here to get a better head start on my strawberries. So I've done this every year, and so I find it really effective and really successful, and a small tray like this doesn't take up much space, as you can see. And then by pricking out the largest seedlings, what I find is these have more room to grow and expand, and then as they get bigger, then I can prick them out as I choose, or when there's finally a few left at the very end, I just leave them in here and then plant them up like that in a grouping in the garden. So I'm going to get started. So what I'm doing is I'm using this tool. This is a dibber, and you can find this on my Amazon shop, and I'll post the link down below in the notes. So this little dibber comes on Amazon, and it usually comes in a pack like this. They might have another tool as well, but I find them a wonderful tool, really valuable, cost effective, only costs a few dollars, but you get a lot out of it. So I find this to be a fantastic tool for seed starting. So I'm going to use this side of the tool for making the holes, dipping them into the cell tray, and then I will use this side of the tool to prick them out on this side. So I'm going to get started by first making 2 holes per cell. Okay. Now, because these cells are longer than the average square size, which is typically half, this allows me to put 2 seedlings per cell. Now, if the cells were just like a smaller square, I'd only put 1, but because they're like double the length here this way, I can easily fit in 2, and they'll grow okay like that when I plant them out into the garden. And if I really want to at that stage, they'll be much hardier, and I can split the roots if I choose. So this just allows me, in a 6 cell pack, I can fit in 12 plants. So this does save a lot of space, and I'm all about saving space when you have limited space under the grow lights. Okay, so what you do first, so you take this end of your dibber and you find your largest seedling, and for example, let's start with this one here. I like this seedling here. I find it to be a nice healthy size. So you take it by the largest leaf and you gently scoop from below like this, and you pull it out gently. You don't touch the stem because the stem is really delicate. So if you need to get your hands on the stem, you just use the end of the dibber. It's a lot easier, a lot more gentle on it. And as you can see, when I pulled it out, look at how long that root system is. It's quite extensive already, even though the seedling above is tiny. Then using this same end, because I've pre-made the hole, I then gently push the little root system into the hole, and then I close the hole using, again, the same end of the dibber. So really, you get a lot of use from one single tool. Okay, let's do it again. Now I noticed there was one under here because I had already done a couple of little seed cell packs. So see, you can see this one here looks quite healthy. So grab again, gently hold it by the largest leaf and scoop from below to get that root system because it is quite long already. And here it comes, look at that. The very bottom is all the way over here. So I'm going to take again this end, continue on, and use this skinny end of the dibber to guide the roots into the hole. Okay. You can use your finger to just move the soil, but don't touch the stem because the stem is really delicate and you don't want to harm that stem in any way. Let's do another couple. So I'm going to choose, so these are all done. So there are some, I just want to point out, there's some tinier seedlings in here. Don't worry if you've shifted them and they've moved over. Just kind of straighten out the soil and they will find their bearings and continue to grow. They're really quite hardy, even though they're so tiny. Okay, so let's carry on. I like some of the seedlings in here. There are some small ones and some big ones, so I'm going to carefully select the larger one, and I like this one here. I'm just going to gently ease it out keeping the tiny seedlings still in the soil. Look at that crazy root system. It's incredible, such a tiny little seedling. So I'm gonna go into this hole here. I'm gonna ease those roots into the hole using the end of my dibber. Okay, there we go, and it's planted. Let's do one more. Okay, so I'm gonna just fix the soil here, and I really like these over here. This is a larger one, so I'm gonna, again, grab it by the largest leaf. Look how many are coming out, and that's not a problem. Use that thin end of the dibber to ease out your little seedling, and I think I've grabbed a few small ones, and that's okay because there's really a lot in here and I'm not really worried about it. I'm just going to try to separate them like this. Here we go. Okay, grabbing it by the largest leaf. There's the extensive root system. I'm gonna help guide the roots into the pre-dibbed hole, and I'm going to use the thin end of the dibber just to firm the soil around gently. Doesn't have to be packed in tight, but just enough to hold it upright. And that's it, and that's how you plant. First of all, that's how you prick out tiny strawberry seedlings, but you can use this method to plant anything else, really flowers. You can start lettuce like this. You can do many seedlings in the same way. You could even use larger plants. You could do the same thing with larger plants and plant tomatoes in the same fashion and then prick them out. I just find by multi-sowing in a tray like this, and then pricking out when it's at this tiny leaf stage. And as you can see, you don't want to wait too long because as you can see, the roots get quite long quickly. So it's good to do this pricking out if you can when they're still quite tiny. And even though they look delicate, they're quite strong, believe it or not. And that's it. So this tray is ready. I still have a few holes here left to fill. So I'm going to use, again, I'm going to choose the largest ones and I'm going to finish this tray, and then I will leave the rest of it to grow and fill out, and then I'll continue the next time it gets a little bit bigger. So that's how you prick out strawberry seedlings. Hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, be sure to give me a like and click the like button to give me a thumbs up. As well, please click the subscribe button down below, and as well as the notification bell in order to be notified of any upcoming videos that come up. So that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed my video. Wish you all have a happy gardening day, and I'll talk to you soon.